From broke to wealthy, real stories of real estate success. They used to clean floors, wait tables, and sleep in their cars. One was laughed at for being too dumb to succeed. Another delivered pizzas just to survive. A third was flat broke, living on welfare, and still managed to buy their first rental property before 21. Today, their names are known across the real estate world. They own skyscrapers, vacation homes, and portfolios worth tens of millions. And they all started with nothing but a dream and a do or die mindset. So, how did they do it? In this video, we're uncovering the real life journeys of people who went from broke, like truly rock bottom broke, to wealthy through real estate. Their stories aren't fairy tales, they're raw, real, and full of moments you'll never forget. If you're struggling, stuck, or just looking for proof that it's possible, this might be the turning point. Because once you hear what they overcame and how they did it, you'll never look at your situation the same way again. Let's meet these narrative changers. Barbara Corcoran, the waitress who became a mogul. Barbara was one of 10 kids. Her report cards were filled with D's. Teachers said she couldn't learn. Most people assumed she wouldn't make it out of her small New Jersey town. Barbara Corcoran didn't grow up with privilege or praise. In fact, she was labeled the dumb kid early on and carried that stigma for years. After high school, she worked one low-paying job after another, waitressing, renting apartments, just anything to get by. But there was a turning point. She took a $1,000 loan from an ex-boyfriend and started a tiny real estate office in New York City with no experience, no connections, and nothing but her instincts. When that boyfriend left her and tried to take the business too, she didn't fold. She became more committed. And her secret weapon? Creativity. Barbara used unorthodox marketing. She printed a property guide that looked like the New York Times. She turned listings into stories. She made people feel something, and people bought. That $1,000 idea, it became the Corcoran Group. It sold for $66 million. Today, she's a star on Shark Tank, investing in dreamers who remind her of herself, broke, hungry, and full of ideas. One thing to learn from Barbara's story is that you don't need a fancy degree or a rich background to build wealth through real estate. You need resilience. You need to think differently. Most of all, you need to keep going when people tell you it's impossible. Her story proves it's not about where you start, it's about how you flip the script, one small move at a time. Number 2, Grant Cardone, from addict to real estate billionaire. Before he was a billionaire, before the private jets and flashy suits, Grant Cardone was just a broke kid from Louisiana, angry, addicted, and nearly out of options. He lost his father when he was just 10. That loss hit hard. It changed him. As a teenager, he spiraled into drugs, and by 25, he'd been to rehab. No money, no career, just a ton of regret and one big question. Is this all there is? And then something shifted. He got a sales job. Not glamorous, but it was a start. He showed up every single day, sober and stubborn. For 2 years, he worked that job while saving every dollar. When everyone else was partying or coasting, Grant was planning, studying, preparing. At 29, he took the little money he had and bought his first property, a single-family house. It turned out to be a mistake, but he didn't quit. Instead of running from real estate, he went all in. He learned the game, stopped buying houses and focused on apartments, the kind that cash flow every month, whether you're rich or broke. He kept buying, kept growing. And over the next 20 years, Grant Cardone went from someone banks wouldn't even call back to owning over $4 billion in real estate. And now he teaches others how to do the same. But it's not just his wealth that makes him worth listening to. It's the fact that he built it from the bottom. No rich parents, no lucky breaks. Just insane work ethic, belief, and obsession. There's something he says often. Maybe you've heard it. You don't have a money problem, you have an income problem. While that might sound tough, it's a wake-up call. Grant's story isn't just about real estate, it's about ownership. Ownership of your time, your finances, your future. And if Grant can do it, so can you. but only if you decide and do the work. Number three, Manny Koshman, from refugee to real estate tycoon. He arrived in America with nothing but hope and a suitcase. Manny Koshman was just 14 years old when he and his family fled Iran during the revolution. They landed in California but had no home, no money, barely any English. For a while, their family of six slept inside a car parked in a friend's garage. It's easy to see a man now standing beside Bugattis and Rolls Royces and forget where it all began. But Manny's story isn't about fancy cars. It's about raw, painful, honest toil. At 16, he got a job at Kmart sweeping floors. He then started selling snacks out of a swap meet. Door to door, rain or shine, he saved every dollar. At 20, thinking he was ready, Manny tried investing. He put his entire savings into a gas station business and was scammed. He lost everything. That could have been the end. It would have been for most, but not Manny. He didn't let that loss define him. He studied, hustled harder, learned the real estate business from the ground up. He started small, managing properties, then flipping. It wasn't overnight, but it was relentless. And slowly it paid off. Today, Manny Koshman owns over $200 million in commercial real estate across the U.S. Offices, plazas, warehouses. His life is nothing short of cinematic, from a refugee without a bed to one of the wealthiest self-made investors in the game. What makes his story unforgettable isn't just his wealth, it's his heart. He stayed kind, he stayed real. He speaks to every immigrant who was ever told, "You can't make it here," and every struggling young person who's tired of hearing, "Just give up." Manny proved that you don't need a perfect start to live an extraordinary life. You just need a decision and the will to never go back. Manny was able to make it from a garage to owning entire buildings. So, your starting point doesn't matter as much as you think. What matters is your next move. Number four, Ricky Carruth, from rooftops to real estate millions. Ricky Carruth didn't come from money. In fact, he was raised by a roofer in a small Alabama town where hard work wasn't optional, it was survival. As a teen, Ricky didn't just hear about backbreaking labor, he lived it. Up on roofs, swinging hammers, helping his dad earn just enough to get by. But Ricky wasn't content with the latter. He wanted the skyline. He saw real estate as a way out. By 23, he was on fire, selling homes fast and earning more than he ever dreamed. But just when it looked like he'd made it, the 2008 crash hit. Hard. Everything vanished. Listings dried up. Deals disappeared. Ricky lost his income, his investments, even his car. That breakdown became his breakthrough. He studied what had gone wrong. He stopped chasing quick wins. He started listening, really listening to what buyers and sellers needed. And instead of treating real estate like a numbers game, he treated it like a relationship business. One call at a time, one person at a time. Today, Ricky Carruth is a millionaire. He's written best-selling books, spoken on massive stages, and helped thousands of agents rise up with the same no-excuse mindset. But here's the real gem. He still answers his own emails, still gives away coaching for free, still roots for the underdog, because he was one. His story is a reminder that you don't need to be from a big city or have big connections to make it in real estate. What you need is heart. If you're watching this from a small town, working a job that leaves you sore at night, thinking this kind of success isn't for people like you, Ricky Carruth would tell you you're exactly the kind of person who can do it. So, which story hit home for you? Was it Barbara starting with just $1,000 loan, Grant surviving addiction, Manny sleeping in a car, or Ricky rebuilding from nothing after a crash? Let us know in the comments. Your voice matters, and your journey just might inspire the next person watching. If this video gave you something new, hope, clarity, belief, please give it a like. And don't forget to subscribe and share it with someone who needs a little push to get back up. Real estate isn't just about properties. It's about possibility. Let's grow together.